When analysing data, physicists like to create straight line graphs for a number of reasons. We can use the gradient, y-intercept and area to compare different tests. And it is relatively easy to test if a line is straight compared to testing how curved a line is. So for the equation E equals mc squared, plotting E against c squared gives a straight line through the origin with gradient m. Plotting E against c gives a curve, and it's not easy to see if it is a c squared curve or c cubed curve or even a c to the power of 2.5 curve. Imagine you have data for 1 over I and r and the results give a straight line graph. The predicted equation is 1 over I equals r over k plus j over k, where I is current, r is resistance, and j and k are constants. First, put the equation into the form y equals mx plus c. This one's just a tiny rearrangement. 1 over I equals 1 over k r plus j over k. And plotting 1 over I on the y-axis and r on the x-axis, this makes the gradient equal to 1 over k and the y-intercept equal to j over k. And this makes it easy from the graph to find the values of k and then j. For the units, well, if we're adding quantities, they have to have the same units. So 1 kilogram plus 2 kilograms is fine, but 1 amps plus 2 volts is not. So that means the units for 1 over I, r over k, and j over k are all the same based on the equation we've been given. We know the units for I and r, so we can determine the units for k by equating the units for 1 over I and the units for r over k. 1 over amp equals ohm over the units for k, so units for k are equal to ohm amps. Now we know the units for I, r, and k, so we can determine the units for j. The units for 1 over I are equal to the units for j over k, so 1 over amp equals units for j over ohm amps. So the units for j are equal to ohm amps over amps, which is equal to ohms. Now notice how I did not write j equals a, and that's because j is a quantity, but a is a unit. A physical quantity has a magnitude and a unit, so it is correct to say mass equals 5 kilograms, but it is not correct to say mass equals kilograms. Finally, a shortcut here is noticing that r over k and j over k have the same units, and obviously the units for k do not change, so the units for r and j are the same. Since we know r is in ohms, j must be in ohms.